And a good Friday afternoon to you. Thanks so much for being here on NewsNation Now. I am Aaron Nolan. If you're new to NewsNation Now, quickly want to tell you what we're all about. We're giving you unbiased news from across our country on WGN America every night at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central. If you don't know where WGN America is, really cool way to do it. Go to newsnationnow.com. In the very top right-hand corner, there's a link. Put your zip code in there. We'll tell you exactly how to get it. Right now, we're talking about the struggle that has become the holiday season in the midst of a pandemic. Look, it's not easy. Thanksgiving, we saw some people traveling more probably than some of those experts had wanted us to. And those numbers of COVID continue to climb. But that's creating a lot of stress. And to help us out with all this is Adam Juanez. He is a psychotherapist in Chicago. Adam, you have published something about this, and you really wanted to aim at kind of bringing us all back down, bringing the stress level down. Thank you for joining us, and why did you decide to publish an article about this?
Hi, Aaron. I just want to say thank you so much to you and WGN for having me on here to give us a platform for this important conversation. And you know, really what it comes down to is the holiday season is a stressful time under the best of circumstances, right? Yep. So we always want to be paying attention to how we're feeling around this time anyways. But what has been going on this year is, you know, the entire year we have been walking around with this huge sense of grief and loss. You know, this is a world that none of us expected to be living in. And so what's happening is we are struggling to stay present and to be able to move forward with a sense of ease. And so when we come to these milestone moments, it's like a holiday season, it kind of reminds us of what we've lost. And so it becomes really important to just kind of check in with ourselves and pay attention to where we're coming from and where we're going and how we can kind of just move with a sense of ease through something like a holiday season.
Yeah, you bring up sense of ease, and that is something that has been difficult in the best of times of 2020. If you're on Facebook right now, joining us on NewsNation Now or your local affiliate across the country, make sure you drop a question for Adam. I'll make sure to watch these comments, and Adam will be able to answer any of these. But let's go to your article, and we have linked this article on newsnationnow.com. You hit on a lot of things, and the first thing I want to talk about are those uncomfortable conversations, Adam. And that is something that needs to happen from family to family, or is it something that needs to happen from individual to individual, or both yes and everybody?
Oh yeah, I think it's really an all-around thing. And you know, we're having a lot of difficult conversations this year, and the holiday season is no exception. You know, when we go to an uncomfortable conversation, the first thing we have to remember is it's uncomfortable, so we want to avoid it. But you know, avoidance is really going to make everything a lot more difficult. We find that the anticipatory anxiety is the worst part of an event. So when you just walk into it, remember that, you know, walking into it is the hardest part. But once you're there, it's really important to just stay direct and to the point. You know, there's a lot of difficult stuff going on, and a lot of us are feeling a little bit judgmental because we're scared. And, you know, I think of judgment as kind of a projection. You know, it's this idea that I'm going to destroy the thing in you that I find unacceptable in myself. So, you know, we have a lot of fear. And so we kind of want to destroy that fear by coming in strong to a conversation, you know? So a way to combat that is to just really practice active listening skills. You want to slow down. You want to be very direct and to the point. You know, no is a complete sentence. But you really just kind of want to say, you know what, I can't make it. I can't be there. And that's really all you have to say. Nobody has to know how you feel about the stuff that they're doing. And another thing to remember is you really, when you're listening, want to put aside what you want to say and just take it in. And I think that what you'll find is you're hearing a lot of fear, a lot of anxiety, a lot of sadness, and you can kind of expand on that in your conversation and build up the empathy.
Yeah, and I mean, all these are really good tips, and you've kind of hit on that second point of your mental health temperature, and I think you're about to go into acceptance. And look, Adam, this is something that is difficult right now. You know, each and every day I talk to my family who thousands of miles away from where I am, and I won't be able to be there with them this Christmas. But we have to kind of accept that. And I think that was the main point in this section of your paper.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, acceptance is a huge benefit. If you can just walk to something with acceptance, then you're going to alleviate a lot of unnecessary pain. And it's hard to do. You know, a lot of us think of acceptance as resignation, but really it's more this idea of just kind of laying down the sword. I think of acceptance as just kind of stopping the fight, you know? So I really want to be with my family too, but that's just not possible right now. And so what I can do is I can just practice acceptance. I tell myself I want to be there, but I can't be there. And when you do that, that frees your mental energy to think of other alternatives. So you can kind of tweak what you had already planned on in a more creative way.
And you mentioned that tweaking, and those traditions are something that we're going to have to change. We're going to have to make those changes. We are here on NewsNation Now. Adam Juanez is with us right now, talking about a paper that he wrote aiming at this COVID Christmas idea and how we can mentally adjust to the changes that are in front of us. So let's talk about those traditions, and it's okay to do something you've never done before, even though it's been traditional in our family for years.
Absolutely. Yes. It is imperative that we make these adjustments because, you know, other people's lives depend on it. And, you know, when you think about what traditions are around the holidays, a lot of it has to do with being with the people that we love. We live in a really incredible age where we're able to connect virtually. And so we want to find ways to find shared experiences with people we love, whether it be through a telephone call or a video chat. And so you can think about cheesy little ways that they sound so simple that you might not want even to do them, but it does bring that sense of connection that we're all craving right now. So, you know, you want to think about like cheesy little icebreakers that you can do on a video call.
You know, I've been struggling with that myself because video opening presents around the Christmas tree is something that is going to happen, and I'm the biggest cheese ball of them all. Dirty Santa, that game we all like to play, is going to be pretty difficult, though, through video conferencing.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a challenge, but the thing to remember is you have a shared experience, right? And so what this all comes down to this year is like remembering, you know, we're living in a moment in history.
Yeah.
And the way to get through something that's difficult is to make meaning out of it. And we get to be a part of a really big story. And, you know, people are resilient and we're creative. And you think about stories like from the Great Depression and people were making clothes out of flour sacks, and you know, think of a Zoom call as like a flour sack. It might not give you what you want, but it's a fun story for later.
I've never thought about Zoom calls. I just had a Zoom call, and I'm in a flour sack. Adam Juanez, and that's a fantastic way to look at it. We were talking about ways to beat a COVID Christmas, which is coming to us in just a matter of a few weeks. Adam published a paper about this and about, you know, how to beat it. Adam, I want to read the final thing to you of your paper. You said, strange as it may be, this is probably the most historic holiday season you've ever lived through. Make some good stories for future generations. I think that may have summed up your entire paper. And correct me if I'm wrong, that may be the inspiration behind this article that you published.
Oh, definitely. I mean, we are living in unprecedented times. And the way I really truly believe that the way through all of this is to remember like what we do have. And at the very least, we have each other and we have ways to tell stories. And I think that that is like enough fuel to get us through many difficult challenges.
That is good stuff. All right, yeah. Go ahead and finish, Adam.
Oh, no, we might not be able to be together in person, but we can connect in other ways. And, you know, you do not have to go through this alone. The great thing about this time is that mental health services have never been more accessible. At the Juniper Center, we're having telehealth services for people, and we have a lot of freedom in that. You know, you can work on your anxiety while you're folding your laundry. And that's kind of a 2-for-1 deal.
It, without a doubt, is. Adam, I want to thank you for jumping on here on News Nation as we continue to look at what is an unprecedented time in our country. Not only the fact that we have Christmas right around the corner, that Thanksgiving just wrapped up, but we just don't know what's coming next. Adam took the time to write a paper. We have published that on NewsNationNow.com. Adam, thank you so much, buddy.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Adam Juanez, we appreciate everything that you're doing and just trying to help us out. Adam, again, thank you so much. You can read more of that on NewsNationNow.com as well as the NewsNation Facebook page. Very interesting day that we've had so far. If you've missed anything that we have talked about today, we had a great conversation with an astrophysicist about the Christmas star. It is on this website. It is also on our Facebook page. You can also always go back to watch this. Right now, I wish you could see what's behind us. We have journalists really scouring the country right now, trying to find the perfect stories for you coming up tonight on WGN America, 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock Central for News Nation. We encourage you to join us. Make that your news stop each and every evening, as we will not only bring you news from around the country, we'll also bring you local weather that you need each and every day. Well, that is it for right now. This is finally Friday for me. I'm hoping to go watch The Mandalorian here in a little bit. Maybe that'll help my COVID Christmas. Have a great day. I'm Aaron Nolan. We'll see you next time.